Yeah. Oh, I had no idea. Yeah, let me Google this. And oh, right, okay. And is it just an add-on that's already inside of Blender? Yeah, right. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, I was listening to that. Was it you that responded with that podcast on Twitter? I've been listening to it on my my drive to and from work. I'm about halfway through now. If you want to wake up, you need to get sunlight in your eyes. You're gonna stimulate those cortical ganglia, whatever they are. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Behind a rock, whatever. Hey folks, how's it going? We have a special guest on today that's going to be hanging out with us, who's also probably knows Blender better than me, to be honest.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
No, I for sure know more about Blender.
Well, you definitely know about you definitely know much more about animation because you're much more experienced.
A little bit, yeah.
But yeah, we have Forlorn Creature. He did the awesome Lego animations. The janitor, that's probably his most famous one.
Yep. It was about 2 years ago now, I think.
Yeah, no, it's been some time.
I am working on new stuff. I just haven't put out anything for a while.
Oh man. Alright, Christ. This is crashing on me. I think I need to know. I know what to do. I need to close the asset library so that 2.92 knows what to do, and then I can do this. Okay. But yeah, we were just talking about sleep.
Yes.
Have you been able to try it out yet? It took me a few days to get used to that.
Not quite. I did get a good night's sleep last night. But I'm actually still listening through that podcast, and I'm only just starting to get to some of the actual tips in it.
Yeah, that's my main critique. Well, actually, does it have the table of contents now in the video?
I've been listening to it on Spotify because I listen to podcasts when I drive to my bar job, so I get about 10-15 minutes in depending on how much traffic there is.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
Um, because I mean I haven't listened to that in a while. I will say, probably half those habits I picked up and then dropped. So.
Well, I mean that's a lot of like life and like mental health and stuff. I feel
Yeah.
like you'll like learn it once. You'll pick up like a tiny smidge of something that might change the way that you think about something, and then you just kind of forget about everything else.
Yep. No,
Overall,
literally.
like there's improvement over time. I like to think. But,
Yeah, I mean, I've noticed improvement over time, even though I don't do
Yeah.
everything with that anymore. I'm trying to think. He has a really good video on context chat for people who don't know.
oh yeah.
I just like woke up, and it's what 1 a.m. for you right now
Yeah, it's almost 1:30
over
AM,
in
yeah.
Australia. Let's see what chat's saying. Where do I live at? I live in New York. If you're wondering why he did not finish SP322, he's waiting for the transporting of the object to him. Haha. Very funny. Okay, they're just talking about it starting. Whatever. Oh wait, LOL, I will say probably have these habits. Okay. Yes. But he has a really good podcast on jet lag. And
Yep.
I don't know if that's the same podcast, but he was talking about.
I don't know.
Actually, I'm pretty sure it's a different one because it's actually a really big category. But he's talking about how
Yeah, that's another episode. Yeah.
like a lot of people who have jet lag don't travel. They've put themselves into jet lag by just having such bad
Okay.
sleep schedules. Yeah, it's very
Yeah,
interesting.
right.
I never knew that was like a thing.
Yeah, well, I work I do bartending part time, and depending on what shifts I get, which most of the time I'm working like 5 p.m. till like anywhere between 10 and 1 a.m. And it's really hard to maintain a nice sleep schedule with that because like I'll get home and just want to decompress for a few hours, and by then
Yeah.
it's like 3 a.m. when I'm actually going to bed.
Yeah, it's rough.
So,
At
yeah,
least it's not a total night shift. So like.
no, I did used to do like proper night shift work, like post-production for television shows,
Yeah.
like doing processing dailies. That was
Yep.
awful.
Never want to
yeah.
do that.
I remember one time the reason I stopped was I worked like a 14-hour shift and then nearly drove into a truck while driving home, and I was like I had a really bad morning at work because everyone came in and all this stuff with the manager because like I wasn't dressed properly, and they were, like had a problem with that because I've been
Wow.
there since like 10 p.m. the night before.
Because that's the issue, not you almost driving into a truck.
Yeah. It was not good.
Well, have you been following all the stuff with Yahtzee in the States?
Yahtzee. No, what's that?
So Yahtzee is this huge union that basically employs everyone that's below the line.
Right. Oh, like in film and TV. Yeah,
In
they
film
were gonna
TV.
go on strike. Yeah.
Yeah, and they decided not to, but
Yep.
for a new deal. But there's still a lot of murmurings of people who are not happy with that deal, so it's still kind of up in the air. But there's this really, really good Instagram account that I think it's called Yahtzee Stories.
Yep.
Do you know about it?
No, I've been following something similar but more niche recently though. It's probably inspired by that. I followed one called Stop Motion Stories, and it's all that sort of stuff, but specifically for the stop motion industry, which is really like 3 studios in LA.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently working for Stupid Buddy, the guys that make Robot Chicken, there's a lot of issues with that company.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Like people working super low wage and like bad management and all this stuff. I think the Instagram's called like Stop Mo Stories or something like that.
Definitely inspired by them because they really started this trend of collecting anonymously horror stories from the industry of like how horribly people are treated, especially like PAs and like lower level people who never have a voice to themselves.
Yeah.
I can speak personally being treated like shit as a PA.
Oh, really? What happened to you?
uh, Nothing as crazy, thankfully, because I only worked on like short films. I never worked on a
Yeah.
feature because I was like, fuck
Yeah.
this after working on short films. But definitely working 16 to 18 hour days, hands down. Would literally get home, fall asleep for like 4 hours, go to work. Thankfully, I didn't have to drive because I took a train to the city. But
Yeah.
I remember having to like lift up heavy, like really fucking. Have you ever seen like a legit camera dolly that are like these blocks of metal essentially?
Yeah. The ones that they put on tracks, like
Mm-hmm.
um, is that like with the? Because I know you can get the ones where it has like sort of the gimbal truss thing that you put the camera on as well,
Yeah, it had the
and
gimbal
you can
on
basically
it.
it's like a yeah. I think I
Mm-hmm.
know what you're talking about. Yeah.
We had to carry that. This thing's,
Yeah.
I think it's like 500 pounds. It's a ridiculous amount
Yeah.
of weight. We had to carry that
Yeah.
up a extremely narrow, rickety ass, old. Okay, I keep adding these adjectives. Old
Yeah.
staircase, in this really ancient Brooklyn apartment where like you could barely fit maybe a person and a half on the width of the staircase. That's how like narrow they
Yeah.
were.
Oh
Um,
wow.
and I'm getting paid under rate because it's an indie non-union thing. I think I'm only getting paid like
Yeah.
$180 a day. Um, and I also had to carry up a fridge. I had to carry up all these like extremely heavy like things with like not the proper amount of people. Like literally just like straight up just extremely dangerous work.
Yep.
And I'm just like, why are you having two PAs? Well, thankfully the dolly thing wasn't, because all the grip guys jumped in and were like literally cursing out the producers the entire time because they're like, why the fuck
Yep.
would you get this location if you knew
Yeah.
you had shit like this? Like
Yeah.
you have to make sure you have an elevator
Yeah.
for this kind of crap.
Yeah. Is that like just a student film, or is that like
No.
independent?
That I don't want to say who, but someone famous, their wife produced it.
Okay,
Um,
right.
I'll tell you after
Because
call.
I, I remember I worked on I was just like worked on a student film once. Well, I worked on a bunch of student films
Same.
when I was at film school.
Mhm.
But I remember one we drove across a state to film in a house. It was like nothing special. We filmed inside a bedroom in that house and ended up covering the windows with curtains, and the sun went down, so they ended up blasting light through the windows with an HMI.
Mhm.
And it was just like the whole time, like I was like, why do we have to drive 2.5 hours to film inside of a room? When we could have just built this in like we had access to a TV studio where we
Oh,
could have
nice.
built it instead for basically nothing, because it all got covered up with curtains and stuff anyway. But I don't know, it's weird. People get such weird ideas about what they have to do for film productions, where sometimes they just don't make sense at all.
No, definitely not.
I guess the extreme is like in the room when it's like how they built that like the alleyway that they already had.
Oh, yeah.
But they built like a replica of it for the movie.
Oh my god, I completely forgot about that. That is a good example.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a lower standard with student films because they're students, I guess. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
I have issues when it's people who've like worked in like commercials and like held like legit
Yeah.
producer jobs for years, and
guess-
they're treating their crew like a student film.
Should probably talk about that Alec Baldwin thing.
Oh
that
yeah.
happens, like
Mhm.
the gun safety thing, because that like every new bit of piece of like information that comes out, just like I don't know, it seems like there's a lot of bullshit going on.
I'm pretty confident
in terms of-
they're just lying. Yeah.
Yeah, like it sounds like they were just criminally negligent and they're trying their best to not get in trouble for it, but like yeah, they really stuffed up.
How much do you know about the what's the correct term? The arms handler or whatever? I forgot the official title. The person who
It's
handles the
like,
gun.
I can't remember. It was like someone's daughter. It's about all I know. And yeah, it was like her first major production or something that she was working on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think last I saw, I think Alec Baldwin was saying that he didn't fire the gun.
Yeah.
Like it just fired by itself, which is
Interesting.
very dubious.
Well, what I found fascinating was that girl that was the arms master. I think it's arms master.
Yeah.
She supposedly I heard this from one of the news channels I watch. I think I'm supposed to say allegedly to not get sued, but no one's watching this. Who cares? Is that they were literally like when they weren't needed on set, they just like went off into the desert, brought live ammo, and would just shoot at shit in the desert.
Okay. Well, that's now I understand how it happened.
And so they keep asking, where'd the live ammo come? Where'd they live? Their fucking arms master brought live ammo on the set, supposedly.
Yeah, that is insane. Oh my god.
Literally.
No wonder. Oh my gosh. That's. Oh. Yeah, that is. Holy shit.
So I guess they haven't gotten to that part yet. But
Yeah.
oh my god, I have not been sharing my screen. LOL. Doesn't matter. Okay. Anyway.
Oh yeah. I've been. I do have the YouTube up, and I did notice that, but I didn't have like the brain presence to say anything about it.
We're like on the opposite ends. Like he's probably tired. I'm assuming you're tired from work, and I literally just woke up. So we're just like.
Yeah, I did like a 9-hour shift at work today.
Wow.
And it was really busy. It was like full on throughout the entire day.
What happened?
I'm so glad I actually.
Everyone in America says Australia is a lockdown and it's COVID hell and freedom.
The state that I'm in Australia is actually like probably one of the best off places in the world so far. Like we have had lockdowns, but the like the first one was only like it was only a few weeks, and I think cumulatively we really haven't been in lockdown for that long. But we are about to get the vaccine. What do you call it? Like we're at like 80% double jab, and we're about to get our like you have to have a vaccine.
Oh, the booster.
No, like you have to have verification that you've been vaccinated in order to enter, like restaurants and stuff.
Oh yeah, we have that in New York already.
Yeah, because we're about to open all of our state borders. We've got this insane thing where like they've made, because we hit 80% earlier, they're opening up the borders earlier, but they're not bringing in the new rules like earlier as well. They're still coming in at the same time. So we just get like free reign for like 4 days, and then people like me at the bar have to fend off anti-vaxxers and people.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's a good time.
It's not gonna be fun.
No.
Yeah, I'm really not. But there's this insane. It's full of so many like so like you can't, people who aren't vaccinated can't come in, but they can come in and order takeaway. So so they can literally walk into the door and buy stuff and hang around and just take food. They just can't eat it there.
Is there a mask mandatory?
No, we're not. We've moved past mask mandate. We did have masks for a few months there, but we've recently, I think once we got past like 60% or something like that, it was no more masks, which is nice when you're in hospitality.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Wearing a mask all day is not fun.
Yeah, no, I had to do that a few times for a film shoot. But yeah, for New York, we literally just brought it back. So like, for I don't know, maybe I guess a few months now, it's been like you cannot sit in and do. And this is only New York City though, just a heads up, not New York State. But they basically you cannot eat in a restaurant inside unless you have a vaccine app. Like it's literally a New York app, and it literally just has all your stuff, and they like scan a barcode.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool.
Yeah, we've got like an Australia-wide like scan-in app.
Yeah.
That does it too. So.
But what was I saying? Oh yeah. So anyway, they just changed it now. Where like if you're not vaccinated, you can eat inside, but with a mask. And then,
Yeah.
I mean, what's kind of cool. This is something I've noticed. Is depends where you go in New York City. They actually bother checking.
Yeah.
I was shocked. I went to a really good ramen place in Williamsburg
Yep.
a few months ago, and they didn't check, and I was really surprised. I feel like Williamsburg of all places in Brooklyn would have really been on top of it. But yeah, I don't know. And then when I went to Bayside, which is like essentially like a whole town that's all like Korean stuff, they were pretty strict with it.
Yeah.
But I have a theory. It's because it was just me and my white friend. Because
Yep.
I don't know if it's like this in Australia, but 100% you get different service if you go with, say, if you're going to a Korean establishment, you get different service if you go with Koreans, especially like if you go to a Chinese. I'm talking about like not just a Chinese restaurant or a Korean restaurant. I'm talking about like you're in, I guess, Bayside's like a giant Koreatown, and then like Flushing's like a giant Chinatown. And we're like, you definitely get different treatment if you come with someone who's actually Chinese or actually Korean. And so they tend to be like less strict, if that's what I mean. I don't mean like, oh, they treat white people like shit. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, right.
It's almost like this, like, oh, you're cool. Like, okay, we can trust you a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, when someone walks in and they ask for like 4x beer, which is like it's like the basic like piss lager of Australia. And we'll treat them differently to someone who comes in and is like, oh yeah, can I get a double IPA or something like that? Because then like it's like, oh cool, like I can actually like serve you and help you find a good beer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point, because basically, because usually people who hang out with people who are Korean or yada yada, they're a bit more familiar with like Korean food, and they don't need to have like everything explained on the menu, and just like they can just take your order and go.
Yep.
I don't know, some of my Korean, this is just a Korean thing, some of my Korean friends claim that literally you get better service if you're with Korean people compared to if you're not. I personally have not experienced that.
How would they know that though? Because they've never gone without Korean.
well, from
Korean.
Like from non-Korean friends, like because like they order in Korean and everything. Like they're not.
Oh yeah, right.
So that's how like they really know. Yeah. Although most of my friends' Korean sucks, but that's another story.
Are you still were you learning Japanese?
Yeah, I still am.
Are you still doing that?
Mm-hmm. I slowed down a bit. I basically lost a week, but I've been trying to do at least an hour every day.
Wow.
So we're getting there.
That's good dedication.
I enjoy it. It's generally like fun. It's not like work for me, so I think that's the only reason I've been able to stick to it. It's not like, it is part of like me relaxing after doing work and stuff. So let me just move this tree and then I can talk. Okay.
Are you actually getting much work done? Is this really distracting?
Nah, these are chill streams. I'm not like actually trying to work with these streams. It's where like people can kind of see the behind the scenes, and then
right.
That's it. It's not a big deal.
Do you wanna tell me a bit about what you're working on at the moment? I don't think I'm familiar with SCP-323 off the top of my head.
Do you know the Wendigo? Like that story in general?
Wendigo.
It's an American.
I don't think so.
It's an American folklore story, so that's why I'm surprised they made it. It's a Native American folklore.
Right.
I think it's literally
Looks familiar.
It's basically, there's so many different depictions of it. The one that the SCP talks about is basically a well, they're kind of like skinwalkers. Do you know skinwalkers?
No, I don't know that.
Okay, that's another American thing.
What is this, like a bunyip type thing?
It's.
You know what a bunyip is?
I thought bunyips are like a swamp monster, though. I'm very rusty on them.
Yeah, you're correct. Yep.
No, so they're a bit different. So the OG tale, and people in chat can correct me if I get this wrong. And LOL, I saw your question. I'll get to it in a bit. But what's it called? So anyway, basically, from my understanding, it only happens during the wintertime, during periods of starvation. And basically, what happens
Yep.
is this creature that almost shapeshifts into different animals, but there's something off about it. Like either the animal's like starving or there's like flesh slowing off of them, and they essentially hunt people in the woods, looking for like sustenance or food. And basically, this creature's always hungry. It's always devouring or eating or killing something. It can never be sated. Right. And so certain legends claim that it's always on like a very cold night that you'll see this run into this creature. And also that the one I like the most is that they're actually people. Wendigos are humans that basically get either corrupted. Okay. They're corrupted by like evil magic, like they were doing like black magic or whatever, or they were basically so greedy that they could never be sated, and that's why they're always hungry and they're always starving and they're always killing. Right. They're like, I think it's like someone who's like no, it's not greed. I think it's like a murderer. Sorry, people. I'm really twisting this one up. So yeah, it's like usually I think it's someone who's like a psychopathic murderer who like can't be their anger can't be sated with blood, and so that's why they're always like starving as a Wendigo and stuff like that.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a cool one. The SCP kind of really boils it down, and it's just like, oh, it's a mask. It's a deer skull that makes you go evil. I'm like, okay, I guess. I think it oversimplifies it personally. But
so you're gonna add some more complexity to your SCP animation?
I would, but it's gonna be a really short one.
Yep.
Yeah. So, because I'm really trying to, my number one goal for this upcoming year is to get out a video a month. And it's
wow, yeah, that's pretty aggressive. Yeah,
it's
right.
only possible because I'm working with the awesome dudes at Fragmented Minds. So essentially, they're giving me their models that they've made for the game, and then also they already have a bunch of pre-made animations. So sometimes they'll even give me like animations and I can just slap it in. So that's what's going on with Wendigo.
Nice.
I've been helping that with mocap and return. So I actually did the mocap for this video, and then Cedric, Zerndo, who's actually worked on past videos, he's also working with them. He did all the cleanup for it. And so, so they've been awesome to work with, and that's the only reason why this is possible. So
yeah, cool.
It's been fun.
Huh. So what's their game that they're working on again? Is that I think I've heard of this one.
So they haven't released a full demo yet, and they're about to soon.
What's it called?
Oh, Fragmented Minds. Yeah, that's the name.
Fragmented Minds.
They're getting ready for a Kickstarter actually very, very soon. I think next month. Yeah. But all right, Austin, don't yell at me if I pitch your game wrong. But for my understanding, it's kind of like, oh shit, there's a specific game that they're actually modeling it off of. But from my experience, it kind of reminds me of like Dead Space, where basically you're in this remote facility in Mars, and you basically have to like find out what happened and like extract some sort of special item or information from that site. So it's cool.
Also, it's on Mars.
Yeah, it's on Mars.
Right. I knew there was SCP lore that like dealt with like sci-fi and space stuff. But that's really cool. It's very Doom-y.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. But it's definitely, I like what they're doing. They're definitely doing much more of like a stealth horror, like where you barely have any materials and you have to be smart about how you use your stuff. Those games actually scare me, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah. So I'm feeling like a very like kind of modern take on the Containment Breach game kind of vibe from it.
Kinda. I think it's definitely has much more of a story than
Oh yeah.
Like
that game
it will.
Was, like very bare bones.
Yes.
The original one anyway.
Mm-hmm. Very. I guess onto no leaves for this guy.
Oh, did you want to respond to lol?
Oh
question?
my god, yes, thank you. Wow. You're keeping me in line. Let me pop it up. Alright, so Lil asks, are you satisfied with your daily routine, or would you like to change something, like work, hobbies, or maybe even accommodation and place of residence? And by the way, why would you learn Japanese? Okay, it's a lot of questions. Good questions, though. So I would say only very recently have I really feel like I've gotten a really good daily routine where like I can keep myself accountable. I can put in at least 60 hours every day of like work and actually enjoy the work. That's like the
Did
big
you say
one.
60 hours?
No. 6 to 8. Yeah, no.
Oh, 6 to 8. Okay.
Yeah. Don't worry, like a normal human being. Yeah, God. No, yeah, I don't sleep for 3 days.
You just type on 5 keyboards at a time. You do the work of
Yeah,
5, man.
times 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it took a lot of trial and error. It's very hard, like, especially when it's not a paid gig and it's just like a YouTube video where like keeping to deadlines and staying on schedule things. I mean, it literally was like a 2-year journey, like from 3,000 when I started working onto that to like now. Holy shit, it's like a day and night difference with how I can
wow,
work.
did that take you 2 years? Were you working on that for 2 years?
No, I worked on that for 1 year. Oh wait, shit, no, maybe 1 year then. My brain scrambled up. Yeah, so over 1 year. It's been 1 year now. Yeah, a little over 1 year. It was like August when I started, and then I released it in September. So.
Yeah.
But that actually makes me feel even happier now, knowing that amount of change happened in just 1 year now.
Yeah, nice work. I'd like to completely change my routine in a year's time. That'd be pretty good.
I am more than happy to share the resources and stuff.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
I mean, my number one tip, and this is something, just how to change habits is, like, I guess, a passion of mine because I've seen it affect me in positive ways over and over again. But like, being very patient with expectations, not being angry or shitting on yourself because you fell off the boat. Like, that's part of the process. You are supposed to fall off the boat. Like, as weird as that sounds.
I guess, oh man, there's so many things that I've struggled with for the past few years, and like, I guess it's that whole like self-criticism thing. Like, you gotta overcome the, I don't know. You go on, you know.
Well, for me, it's different for everyone, I'm sure, but for me, it's this narrative of like, you're incompetent or you're lazy, or usually both. And so you can't do X, or you're gonna keep fucking this up, or you're lazy, so you're not gonna put in the work or whatever. And then, well, the number one thing that helps me with just like putting the hours and just working, because I will say it's completely different when I work at a job or if it's like someone hires me. It's just different for some reason. Psychology.
When you work for someone else, it's just like you don't have to motivate yourself to do that. Like, that's a totally different. I think I know what you mean. Like, I really struggle even with like very well-paying freelance work. Sometimes it's a real struggle to like actually make myself do it. But like going into the bar every day, it's like all I have to do is like get dressed and drive there, and then like everything else will take care of itself.
I think what it has to do is that there's immediate consequences.
Yes. Yeah.
And also just there's rigid structure, you know.
Yep.
And you don't have that. You have to create your own structure if you're just doing passion projects or self-run projects. So yeah, this is actually pretty detailed. But I'd say the first thing that I started with was just like my mentality towards procrastination and work. And when I finally truly understood that this is an anxiety thing, not a laziness thing or a self-worth thing, that's when I really starting to make progress with the procrastination, where I treated it like I treated having anxiety. I didn't treat it like, oh, you're being lazy, or you're inept, or whatever, that little voice in your head. And so couple things that helped me. One that helped me a lot, I mean, just meditating and like just like not resisting, just accepting that feeling or that stress or whatever, and then
Yep.
putting things into perspective usually helps a lot too for me.
Yep.
Where I'm just kind of realizing like this is really not that big of a deal. Like it's really not.
This is sounding a lot to me like is it ACT therapy? Which I can't remember. It's a branch of cognitive behavioral therapy, but it's mostly about acceptance, and it's sort of, rather than trying to change your thought pattern, it's more just accepting that there are certain negative feelings or thought patterns, and then trying to like just keep going through that, I guess, and sort of treating yourself with compassion, and sort of, yeah, I guess that's the gist of it from what I understand.
Yeah, I think it is that. I'm fuzzy on my I'm trying to think. My girlfriend does CBT, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she
CBT is
does.
probably the most common form of therapy, but there's a bunch of branches off of CBT. Because I think CBT has been around since like the 80s.
Yeah, I think it's the
and then
oldest.
yeah.
I think it is.
Yep.
Yeah, for me, I didn't like actually. I didn't go to therapy. I kind of just. YouTube was my therapist. Don't do this. I don't recommend this.
Well, it's probably cheaper and easier. Man, finding
literally
a
free,
good therapist is so hard.
It is. That's.
I think that's something that like when people say like go see a therapist or whatever. Like I one of the things I found is, because I've gone through a few therapists trying to find a good one, and I've kind of given up at this point. But I'll try again eventually. But it's like, the only one I ever had like a good rapport with was like a student therapist who couldn't even do like real therapy with
Oh,
me.
really?
But like I feel like I got the most out of it because I actually like I felt understood, I guess. Because he was like just like a dude who was only like a bit older than me. Because every other therapist I've gotten is usually like someone in their 40s who probably has treated like 10 other people that week, and like probably needs to like read my name before I walk in the door to remember who I am. Like, like I get that kind of feeling sometimes. Yeah.
Well, if it makes you feel better, my girlfriend's a great example of someone who found the right therapist and has been with that person for years since.
Yeah, that's great.
I mean, my sister's kind of going through that now, where she's kind of, especially because her diagnoses have changed. And so now, like, she just recently, so for context, she's my twin. We're both 25. She just got diagnosed with ADHD and like lower level autism. I think it's class 1. I forgot, they changed the classes. It's not like Asperger's anymore. I think it's class 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
With 3 being the most
Asperger's,
intense.
Yeah, Asperger's is not a term that's used anymore, from what I understand. Yeah.
So she's class 1, but that completely like changed how she viewed her therapist and her therapy, and realized like so many things were just wrong, and her therapist wasn't taking her ADHD diagnosis seriously. It was very weird. Very weird.
Yeah, right.
I was like, why would you just like ignore that? She's like, oh, just try this. But she's like, I have ADHD. This doesn't work for people with ADHD.
Yeah.
You can't like outthink having ADHD.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's the thing with therapists, is they can be very, very hit and miss.
But that just like shocked me so much, because it's like it's not like an uncommon like thing.
Yeah, there's well, it's like like they're people, and it's like for a lot of them it is like a job, and they might not sort of really pay attention to basic details like that sometimes. Like they can be very fallible, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think it's like a I know better mentality or something.
Yeah, or just like a apathy towards patients sometimes.
It's just a job.
I don't know. Yeah, like I don't know. I'm sure there are like lots that really
do care.
Yeah, I don't know. I've just had a couple of not so great experiences that were like.
They definitely exist.
Yeah, I think so.
But Oh, also, Cloudburst, I do read my chat. Just no one's really been asking any interesting questions. But
We
yeah.
got plenty of interesting comments here. We've got hello. We've got dude. Interesting. Wow, you're old.
okay. Oh, old. Oh, nice. I like that one.
25 is old. Oh
God,
man.
man.
I turned 25 in 4 months. Well, I
Nice.
enjoyed my youth while I had it, but
Dude.
now I'm gonna be old too.
Well, I think technically the biological clock starts declining right after 25. So
Oh, that's so wonderful.
So
I'm
I'm-
looking forward to that.
I'm on my last year of youth. I think 25
Yeah,
is
okay.
technically the last year.
Yeah, I better get everything done before it all goes downhill.
Well, I am trying to actually go and take a vacation this year since I literally did not
Yep.
take a vacation last year.
Are you still gonna put out a video every month while you go on vacation?
Yeah, so I'm actually I got a decent laptop
Yeah.
that I saved up for, so I'm thinking of trying to like get most of my work done, but I could also probably work a little with like a travel hard drive.
Right.
We'll see. But I'm probably gonna prep and just try to do something because I'm also working on a new series that's completely original, has nothing to do with SCP.
Oh, okay. Cool.
That's inspired by liminal spaces.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
kind.
that's right. Yeah, we did talk.
Yeah, I
about
think I
that.
did talk about that.
Yeah, a while ago.
And I will say, have you seen? Do you know Umami?
I love
YouTuber?
Umami.
Yeah.
Umami is a massive inspiration to me. Yeah, I love his work.
I just started actually watching Interface because I
Yep.
knew about him and then just kind of like fell off the map with him. But I got to finish it. I've really been enjoying that, and I think that format is very much going to be very similar to how my series is going to be, where it's just like short,
right.
1 to 3 minute things, and
Yeah.
and then just to pull people in, the first episode will be the back rooms because I feel like,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, this is kind of how it is.
Good idea. Yeah.
It's the internet for you. But what's it called? I think it'll be fun. I mean, I'm just like expecting it not to get nearly the amount of views that SCP stuff does, which is fine. But for me, more so, it's just like I want to like actually work on something that has like personal significance and meaning to me, and it's not just like, oh, here's a cool creepy thing I made, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know. Especially when I'm like talking with like, if I ever go to like networking events and I talk to film people, and I'm just like, man, like I just feel like I'm not representing myself correctly because I'm just, I'm the horror dude who just makes spooky monsters. And I'm like, but there's so much more to like what I actually want to do than that. Like I really like surreal horror, and I really like psychological horror that really like metaphorically represents trauma or people's like struggles. And so that's what I'm going to try to be doing with this one. And I'm just pulling from personal experience in my life and just trying to use that as jumping off. So that way I don't have to worry about like representing people correctly or anything like that. It is all just personal experience. But that being said, as a viewer, you probably have no idea what I'm referencing exactly. It's very subjective. So it'll be interesting. It'll be a fun experiment, to say the least.
Well, hopefully it goes well then. It sounds really cool. I'm keen to check it out when you start working on that.
Well, we actually just finished the first 2 like levels. One is just the basic back rooms, and another one's like this empty. Do you know what Sears is?
Sears.
Well, you definitely know what like Macy's is.
Macy's. Are these like department stores?
Yeah, so thank you, that's the word I was looking for. So basically I just finished another level that's like an empty, desolate apartment store with like blank mannequins inside of it. So that'll be another one. Yeah, cool. So after this video, I'm actually going to be doing the backrooms one, and I just have to repurpose. There was actually an SCP we were going to do, but we canned it, and so I'm actually going to be using that as one of the main like monsters. Who I'm starting to actually kind of base off of Mischief, not personality-wise at all or anything, but more of just like the fact that it's almost ever present and kind of lives in these realms, no matter the level. That's like the only creature that will be able to like constantly be reappearing in the series.
Yeah. Right. So that'll be the thing that kind of ties it together then.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. I don't want to. I'm not gonna spoil it.
Yeah, I've been working on my thing a bit today actually.
Oh, nice.
I think I sent you a script a few weeks ago. It was the
Mhm.
janitor series. I guess it's like a pilot. I'm just kind of like I have got more episode ideas lined up, but
Mhm.
I'm just gonna focus on this. But yeah, I've got a new script done, and I've started doing tiny little thumbnail storyboards that'll expand into an animatic.
Do you hand draw those, or do you kind of just?
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do because I've done all sorts, like everything that I've ever made. Like usually it's a slightly different process each time. This one I'm drawing like really basic thumbnails that I wouldn't show to anyone else. They're basically just to jog my memory so that
Yeah, like a storyboard.
yeah, basically, yeah, a really shit storyboard, which kind of like what Ryan Johnson does. I don't know if you've seen Ryan Johnson's storyboards before.
No, I haven't actually.
It's incredible. Like the storyboards for like Knives Out and stuff. He just does these like really bad chicken scratch.
Well, I've definitely seen those, like just really bad.
Yeah, but it's
messy.
just funny. He's like he directs like $100 million movies.
Yeah, I know.
Just,
That's
like,
nuts.
with the worst storyboards.
That's actually nuts.
They look like a 5-year-old drew them.
I know. Crap. What's his name? He did Shazam.
Yeah, Pony Smasher.
Yeah, Pony Smasher.
David Sandberg.
Sandberg.
Like
Yeah, something like that. He uses Blender now for his storyboards.
Yeah, he does all the animatic stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Cool.
I was trying to figure out like because this will be a Blender EV animation.
Mm-hmm.
And like in the past, I think like when I did the Lego janitor animation, I did like a rough blocking animatic. So like I actually got the figures out and did like at 3 frames a second, just like smashed out the whole video with like really crappy sets, but just to like get an idea of scale and get an idea of what all the setups would be. And then it like gives me something to replace, and it's a lot more like useful. I'm wondering if maybe I could do something like that in Blender. So like I do like a really rough like blocking pass where I set up like just box out the scenes and have some like early versions of the characters with like barely any animation, but just to get the layout of everything, so I know exactly what the setups and camera lenses and stuff are, so that because yeah, that might be a bit more useful than like hand drawing an animatic and animating all of that in After Effects.
Yeah, I personally feel like it would be more useful.
Yeah, because then it's kind of getting started on the actual like production of it, rather than like starting from scratch when you like I'm actually opening up Blender earlier in the process rather than later on.
Yeah, that's I kind of I don't know, what is my method? I'm very lazy actually with my pre-pro, where I literally just write out a shot list that only I would really understand, and then I do block it out in Blender. Okay, yeah, I guess I don't do a storyboard because I'm a very slow drawer and I'm not a very good one either.
Yeah.
I just do a very sloppy blocking out, I will say. Actually, no, now I'm thinking. No, scratch that. I do just block it out and then mess with the lenses, all that stuff you were saying. And then what I like about that method then is that way I also get a better sense of how much I'm actually going to be animating. But I guess storyboard would handle that too.
Yeah, well, it's also like, yeah, you get an idea of like how many seconds long each shot will be,
Mm-hmm.
which is helpful, just so you know like how much animation you actually need to do for a shot.
Yeah.
Because that's sort of a fun thing with animation is the edit happens before you like shoot, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like with a live action film, you like shoot it all and then you edit it and create the rhythm afterwards. Whereas with animation, to sort of not waste too much time on animation, if you like have a sort of a rough pass done first, then you don't have to waste time like doing extra animation that you don't use.
Yeah, no, exactly. Something that I've also learned that saved me time, when I have like videos that are very dark, I actually like to light it first before I animate. So that way,
Right.
you know, if there's like a hand in shadow or something, I just don't animate it. And when I normally would have.
Yeah, right.
Even if it's in frame.
Yeah. And I think having the lighting in is probably also like quite motivating as well, because it like actually
big time.
It looks good
Yeah.
to start off with.
Mm-hmm. It gets you more excited about the work because it doesn't just look like crap immediately.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Unknown Doctor. But yeah. Man, this tree is not UV wrapping. This is my first time working with trying to texture these trees. I've never I'm actually very new to making trees in Blender. And they just don't want to UV unwrap, which is confusing. Because if you just search it up, what's this add? That's interesting. Shade smooth. This is very strange. Are you pretty knowledgeable when it comes to texturing stuff?
I've done a bit of texturing stuff. Hang on. I think you're just trying to look at your stream, but I think it's quite far behind for me. So hang on. Turn off my VPN. Alright, am I still in voice chat?
Yeah, you are. You are.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, what seems to be the problem?
So it is actually wait, this is actually fine.
Oh, it's fine. Oh, there you go. I fixed it. There you go. You're welcome.
Well, actually, I mean technically not. Technically, the UV maps are messed up. Is what's up.
Right.
Are
there some generated by the add-on?
Yeah. So I just created one, but I want to unwrap it. Oh wait, it's because it wasn't in ed mode. Holy shit. Is smart unwrap usually better? There's different ways of unwrapping UVs.
I don't know. Well, I've never unwrapped something like a tree before.
Let's see what that does.
You could try smart unwrap.
That definitely was not the way. Normal unwrap is definitely not the way. Oh well. It's not popping up on my screen.
Is it just made up of a bunch of cylinders stuck together? Is that?
Yeah, basically is.
Okay.
Oh god, let's see what happened now.
Because if it's generated, if you just go unwrap there, it looks like it's already got patterns for the UVs that aren't. Whoop.
It did
for that one.
That was a smart UV. I think that looks better. Question mark. It doesn't really.
Yeah, it's kind of tough because smart. I don't know exactly how smart UV project works. Whoa. I don't know. The proper way to do this would be the mark seams and then unwrap all the branches as cylinders properly. I don't think anyone's got time for that.
No, these are just background assets anyway. I think this is good enough, honestly.
Yeah.
It's just filler.
My go-to is just the Ian Hubert project from Camera View.
Oh, that's what you use?
Yeah. For a lot of stuff. Although, if it is something that needs to be properly detailed, like a character, then you do the whole marking in the seams and doing an unwrap and then de-stressing all the UVs and all that stuff.
I haven't done that stuff because I'm just getting into I always knew the basics, but I'm just getting into actually working and building environments because basically my whole goal was just focus on animation rigging for a year, and now that I'm past that, I still have a lot to learn there in that field, but I want to just start to like pick up the skills with at least doing environment design, just because now that I have access to like a huge Megascan library, and now that Blender actually has an asset library, it's so much easier. That the fact I can just drag and drop stuff, that convinced me to just be like, all right, I should just start learning basic environment design and modeling stuff.
Yeah, right. And that's probably, you could do so much with that.
So like, it doesn't make sense for me to hire someone to do that. I only should be hiring people for like very custom assets or things like that, or very custom environments that require a lot of like modeling and special texturing stuff, like hand texturing.
The art style for the thing that I'm working on, I'm still working on the art style, but it's kind of like Umami inspired or like PS1 graphics sort of stuff. Although I realized I've probably bitten off a bit more than I can chew, because it means that I basically have to create everything from scratch and texture it and light it. But I mean, it's all gonna be, I want to, whatever it is, it'll be like a minimalistic kind of style, so hopefully it'll be alright.
Couldn't you take like pre-existing like Quixel scan or whatever, like pre-existing textures, and then just like de-res the shit out of them?
Well, I've been thinking about this, because like I want to have a really nice color palette, and it's kind of tough because like I've been trying to figure out how to balance color palette, lighting and like color correction, because like I don't know, like I know like in theory stuff about color theory, but actually like picking out stuff with the right colors and putting it all in the right space, and then it all looks different when you light it as well. Like the colors, like the saturation will be different, and like the way they all mesh together will be different. And then you add like fog and stuff into the mix. Like it's really complicated, and I haven't quite figured out what the trick is to like make it all gel together and work. I like Umami's thing that he does, where he just like has a palette of like 20 or so colors, and literally everything is just those colors.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Even like watch his videos, even when the screen fades out, he doesn't just like do an opacity fade. He actually frame by frame goes through.
Oh my god.
Like paint bucket fills like gradually
what
dark
the hell?
colors that are still in the palette. It's insane.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, it ends up like it's subtle, but I think it's a pretty cool choice to do, because it makes everything very cogent, I guess is the word. Is that the word? Cogent, what does that mean?
That's a new one for me.
Clear, logical, and convincing. Yeah, sure. I guess that's probably what I meant.
Yeah, no, I've just like gotten to him. I know he does these work streams too. That's the reason why I'm doing these now, where I'm just doing work streams.
Yeah.
Because I was like, yeah, this seems fun. Why not?
Yeah. I watched a bunch of his work streams, like to figure out his whole like work process. It's surprisingly it reminds me a bit of like how Lord Bung does animation in a really weird way. Umami does all of his animation in Photoshop and After Effects, which I guess makes sense, like looking at his videos, because like they're like moving art pieces basically.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, whereas Lord Bung does this. He like paints in GIMP and animates in Sony Vegas.
Huh. GIMP. Wow.
Yeah.
I've heard GIMP's very hard to use from people who've used it. That's what all I remember.
It's alright. I learned GIMP in high school and then moved on to. I don't really use Photoshop that much anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm an After Effects boy these days.
Yeah, I know. Who else animates in After Effects? I know. Oh wait, Kurzagast, that YouTube channel. I think they do all their animations.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There.
Yeah, I'm really inspired by them. They do like such good motion graphics.
Yeah, no.
They had a couple of Skillshare courses. I think I started to watch one but didn't get through it. But like, they use a lot of Cinema 4D now as well. I think to get a lot of like 3D stuff happening in their videos. They're an example of like their color palette is just so good. They just have these like wonderful like purples and all this stuff going on, and it just looks great.
Yeah, they probably have like the cleanest out of all the educational animation channels I know of.
Yeah, it'd be really expensive to produce like the quality that they come out with.
Oh yeah, I mean they have they make fuck you money, so with the amount of sales and Patreon and
all their merch as well.
Yeah.
They've got all their really cool looking posters and stuff.
Wow, my brain. Holy shit.
Do you need to take a moment to focus?
I just hit the white wall. No, I'm just changing scale. Like, this is easy shit.
Yeah,
I've never gotten to hand animation shit. I think it was just kind of like way too slow for me. I took one animation course and that was like it. I think that's good, honestly, for background. Actually, I will say the original way that it did it was better, actually. Shit. Awkward.
Yeah, I'd assume that like if it's an add-on generating all the stuff, then it's probably got a solution to texturing and stuff built into the add-on. Because texturing like a really complex object like that is upsetting to think about.
Yeah. I just needed to scale down the texture. That's what it was.
Oh right.
Whoopsies. Oh, I'm assuming you haven't yet tried out geometry nodes, but holy shit, am I loving geometry nodes.
Oh yeah, I've been afraid to check them out.
I was too until I started learning it, and then I was like, holy shit, with the whole thing.
I've been learning how to use JavaScript inside of After Effects for a client job recently. That's one of those things that like I was just like I didn't want to do the coding stuff, but it's actually been super useful and it's really fun and satisfying. So yeah, maybe I'll check out geometry nodes and have a similar experience.
What I also like about it is you just feel like a badass, honestly.
Yeah. Because
you just like crack the code, you know? It's like the hacking sequence.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's been me all week. It's like, but it's like it's for dumb stuff. It's like I've been getting excited about. I figured out how to make like a drop-down menu, change the colors across a bunch of assets at the same time, so you can have like different color schemes that you can pick between. Which is like the most boring, and I can't explain it to anyone like why I'm so happy with myself. But it's like I had to put in like all of these if-else statements and link everything up, and like it's like I don't know. I feel very proud of myself because like I look at my screen and it just looks insane and complicated because I'm like, deep down, like I feel like a hacker. Even though it's like relatively simple, but it feels complicated.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could literally. Oh, what? I'm on 3.0 again? Oh, wait. Duh. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, with my geometry nodes, I'm sure it looks very complicated to people who don't understand what's going on, but it's actually pretty simple. I'm just using it to distribute all the plants and trees and rocks and stuff in the environment. And it is so much faster and so much more control than using the particle system. Yeah. I feel like it's faster too than the particle system. Like it's not as much.
Probably. Well, I imagine geometry nodes is straight, just like the math to place things, whereas particle nodes would have all of like the physics crap built into them.
Yeah. Um, like I know one thing with geometry nodes is if you do it as instance instead of just normal, that immediately makes it way faster. Because I think an instance is like
right.
the actual geometry isn't there.
Yep.
So,
okay. Yeah, because I've had this issue with using the array modifier quite a lot, where I'll if I have like a complicated like large file size object and I use the array modifier to like duplicate it, like my computer just like freezes up and it has to think for like 20 seconds. So it makes it like, so like I was trying to build up like CG Lego scenes and like make like a forest or something, and which means I have to like have like, you know, like maybe like a 10 by 10 with 2 arrays duplicating this bunch of trees and stuff, and it was just like once like it loaded in, it was okay, but it would have to sit there thinking for so long, which is really not fun.
No.
I don't know, is the geometry node stuff, is it like fast, like when you update stuff?
Much faster.
Yeah, cool.
It will. I mean, I was starting to hit some limits because I went a little too insane with some like of the plant matter and stuff. Actually, I can send you a picture of where it's at right now. I'm still not happy with the ground, TBH, but the film's gonna be very dark, so I'm just not stressing about it. It's supposed to be like a nighttime running through the forest body cam. And the trees are still rough, but
have you seen that? Are you on TikTok at all?
Yeah, I've been going hard with TikTok the past few weeks actually.
Yeah, cool. You've probably seen it. I'm not on TikTok at the moment, but I was for a couple of weeks there. It was like a channel. What was it? It was like a bunch of horror videos, like animated horror movies, like very short ones. I forget what it was called, but I feel like you probably vibe with it. I
think I've seen him before. It's all like short found footage, usually stuff like that, right?
Yeah, and it's usually like giant stuff.
Yeah.
Will be,
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I like some of their stuff, but other of their stuff just feels like crap. Like it just feels like they're just pumping out shit for kids.
I think the first couple ones I was like, oh wow, this is really cool, but I think I'd agree, like from what I saw, it was a bit like starting to see a bit more of the same.
Like they keep just reusing certain Trevor Henderson characters, and it's just like not crediting Trevor Henderson. That shit pisses me off. Because that guy, so many people have just kind of taken his work and made tons of money off of it and never credited him.
Right.
And
that's
so
the Siren Head guy, right?
Yeah, it's a Siren Head guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like Long Horse, the cat, that like stuffed animal cat character with the smile on it, Siren Head, those are all of his like most popular creatures that you see everywhere.
Yeah, right.
And so I saw that guy doing that, and just like reusing Trevor Henderson stuff nonstop without crediting, and I'm just like, not cool.
That's not cool.
Like at least credit, you know.
Yeah.
Don't act like it's your original work.
Yeah.
So that's what kind of put a bad taste in my mouth with that guy in particular.
Yeah.
And then I guess my personal self feels a bit jaded when I see people just pumping out low effort shit and getting tons of views. I'm just like, ugh.
It's just the content economy.
Yeah. I honestly recently was like being like, dude, you're in the wrong for feeling so jaded. Like that's a you problem.
Yeah.
And it's toxic. So that's why I've been trying to just like, it is what it is.
I think you still can like put out quality content and do well with it.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, I think like Umami is definitely like a really good example of that sort of thing. But I think he's also very lucky that he sort of was able to make a living doing that as well.
Yeah, so this actually I found very interesting. And this is a very good like side by side of like subscribers doesn't really mean that much. So me and Umami, if you look at her views and sub number, we're almost the same.
Yeah.
But when you actually look at like fans that support you and like are super excited about your work and your identity and you as a creator, I'm not even close to Umami. Like he's able to make a full-time living off of that because of like direct fan support, not just like AdSense.
Well, I think well, yeah, I don't think anyone can live off AdSense these days.
No.
But he, I think he was like living off Patreon when the first episode of Interface was like hadn't even hit 200,000 views.
That's crazy.
Like, I think it just goes to show just like, I think it's just the sheer raw authenticity of his work.
Yeah.
I think you just can't look at it and not take it like, and like just see that it's something pretty remarkable.
Mm-hmm.
And just wanna be a part of it.
Yeah,
it'd be cool.
I think this may be a hot take. My critique of the SCP community is just that like people see SCP content as just content, and there's no like an individual creator behind it. And I think the only exception to that really is like Bung and Volgan. I think everyone else people just kind of see as like, oh, they're just content creators, and it's just content. It's not like this is an artist I want to support. Kind of thing.
Well, yeah, I want to, if this janitor thing works out for me, I want to try to crack that sort of thing where it's like, it'll be like a very specific art style, a very specific kind of directing style that I don't think is what people would associate with like SCP videos.
Yeah.
So
that's,
I don't know, maybe
that's basically what Bung
take
did,
a crack at
I feel like. You know?
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah. Well, Bung's also just like an amazing artist.
Yeah.
He's really, really good.
I feel like my plan has just been to really fill in the lack of just like cool 3D animated stuff that isn't just SFM, like the 096 versus 682 videos, you know?
Yeah.
Like there's literally very little to none of just like cool cinematic, short, creepy. Like that's I'm basically making the content that I originally wished was on YouTube for SCP stuff. Like I see it all the time for Warhammer and Star Wars, and it's just like does not exist for SCP.
Yeah, you want to do the what do you call it? The Astartes thing.
Yeah. When I'm that talented.
Yeah.
Like that guy's.
Well, I think
you could see
I think
see
that,
the skill.
Yeah, but I feel like that guy. I want to say I reckon he got a lot of help in the later episodes.
Oh,
but,
okay.
But I'm not sure. I don't know. It's really, really hard to find information on like what went into the making of those videos. Like he did have some like behind the scenes stream stuff for like the next thing he was working on before his Patreon got shut down. But like I was trying to like find out what
it got shut down.
What the go was. Oh no, yeah, he got hired by
Oh, I thought he like
workshop.
Yeah, I thought he just like closed it.
Yeah, no, sorry, yeah, like like shut down by him.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Because I was like, wait, what? Yeah, I know he got hired literally by. Here's my other mentality that I have that I don't know if this is just cynicism or if it's actually the truth. The Warhammer community is much older, and I feel like they appreciate the level of work like the level of work that goes into something much more than like an SCP fan base would.
Yeah, like SCP's got a lot of I don't really think I fully understand how the SCP community like, works these days.
Yeah.
Because it's like a lot of kids, but I don't understand how like are they just getting into it through like SCP like roleplay games and stuff and learning through it like that, or are they all like watching like Let's Players or like Volgan or something like that?
It's definitely
like,
not through Volgan. Sorry, Volgan. Because everyone I talk to, it's all a video game or an animated short. So I think a lot of them are learning it through those like animation explained videos, which are very low quality, or the or like Roblox, stuff like that. Because there's a lot of SCP Roblox games out there.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, cause like when I learned about SCP, it was because of it was the Containment Breach game that came out. It's probably what, like 10, 15 years ago now.
Mm-hmm.
And then reading a bunch of articles. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah,
I'm the only person who just like found it through a friend who like found the site. I feel like I'm the only
yeah,
person.
yeah. That's like the perfect story of like finding SCP though.
Yeah, through the
I
Tor
reckon that's the best
server.
way. Yeah.
It was. It was. Oh, real quick. Hey, Unlucky Panda. I'm talking to Forlorn Creature. They did the janitor SCP Lego animation, and a bunch of other cool ones that no one talks about. Well, that I don't talk about, because
I think the janitor one was definitely the best one.
I like the other ones though. Like I generally do. Like
Yeah.
I literally. This sounds cringe because you're on call, so it sounds fake as fuck. But but I generally love all the animations you made.
Yeah, cool. I appreciate that. I mean, like I liked the I think I liked how uncomfortable what do you call it, the now my brain's not working, not the dragons one, the processing machine one.
The refinery, refining machine.
Yeah, yeah, the refining machine. I really I enjoyed doing the like screaming and like squelching noises for that. And like I feel uncomfortable when I watch it because it is so just like brutal. So yeah, I don't mind that one. I think the dragons one, I think for me personally is a bit of a miss. Like I liked how I did the I like the imagery I got with it, but I don't think it told a great story.
Like you think it's just flat?
Yeah, I think so. Like there's no real character. There's no. I think the fun thing with the janitor is like the janitor himself is kind of a fun character.
Yeah, no, it is.
And I think people really respond to like characters and personalities. A lot more than just like stuff happening.
Yes, 100%. That's my issue.
Yeah.
As I don't have character-driven stuff.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, fuck. Where do we go with this? Yeah, I don't know. The idea of doing like a series has crossed my mind, but
yeah.
At the same time, I guess it comes down to like what you want versus what like. Because okay, I think definitely I can get the views when it comes to like just making like what I plan on doing, which is just like cool scenarios and just like cinematic 3D like experiences instead of like following a character.
Yeah.
I think virality wise it will do much better, but when it comes to like a dedicated fan base, I feel like having the recurring characters helps so much more. So much more.
Yeah, well that's like two totally different types of success. Is the like viral success where like people, like millions of people watch your videos, and it's all great. And then there's like, I think the more valuable one is like less views but dedicated fans. Like that's that thing with Umami. Like he, like earned like had like 50,000 subscribers or whatever, and was like getting like livable wages through Patreon. Yeah. And like a channel with millions of views might not even have a Patreon that's like enough to pay their bills, because like those aren't. It also might be the demographic too, like because with SCP, if you're getting lots of views, like that probably is also like the kids like Roblox SCP.
Yeah.
Kind of crowd. And like kids don't have disposable income to like put towards Patreon.
But they will,
which is why
they will get their mom to buy stuff for them though, I will say.
Yeah, like I used to like do like Lego Minecraft animations, and like I don't know, I never would have done a Patreon just because I knew that like I just don't have the target, like I don't have the crowd for it.
Yeah,
like I had it. Yeah.
I have a very, very small Patreon, even though I've had many videos that have gone over 1 million. Not many, but a couple that have gone over 1 million.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, if you just look at the comments, you can tell this is a very young audience. But I guess the secret sauce that I've been working on is you can literally see it on my stream, the plushie that I designed. So I'm really trying to lean into like selling cute toys and fun stuff. I mean, I generally do like having like making cute toys for it and stuff. That was very satisfying to be like the design.
Are we allowed to talk about the thing that you're working on that's to do with that, or is that still under wraps?
With a plushie?
The selling the plushie or the...
No, it's been live.
Oh, okay, yeah. right. Yeah.
No, cool. The store, the
SCP store, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's been going on for, I think, officially just a month now. Literally yesterday it turned a month old.
Yeah, sweet. How's that going?
It's been going all right. For a new store that essentially had little to no paid advertising, I think we did very good for our first month. It's not like, oh my god, I can make a living off of this. Not even close.
Yeah, but you've actually, you've sold some stuff.
Yeah, we've actually sold some stuff, which is cool.
Yeah, sweet.
The way I see it is just the first year or so, it's not going to make, like, tons of money. I think the only time it will actually make a sizable amount of money is through the toys and just getting toys on the shop. Yeah. So I'll find out. The Kickstarter I'm releasing the 999 Kickstarter when Wendigo comes out. So hopefully, I'm hoping next Friday. That was my original goal. But
cool.
I might be getting a gig though, so that might push it off. But yeah, that's just like one big experiment to see like, is the demand there? Because all the time I see people asking for like 999 plushies that are like either good looking or affordable, because a lot of the affordable ones look like crap. Or the good ones are like handmade, which, of course that's gonna be expensive. So we'll see. Cool. We'll see.
So how does it work with your creators? Like, do they source their merch through? Do you like help them source the whatever the vendors are that actually create the merch?
Yeah, I basically source everything, because that way I can kind of
Oh wow! Right.
There's only one person who doesn't, but Toad King, but that's because he already runs an Etsy shop and already like creates high quality merch. So that's why it's like there's no point. And we actually use the same manufacturer for a lot of our stuff, so it's like okay, convenient. But so that's one of the big pros, is that a lot of creators, they were using Teespring, which is very low quality, like very low quality. So that's why if you buy, say, your merch on my store compared to their Teespring page, it's going to be the same design, but you're getting a different product, completely different product.
So you found a better t-shirt creator.
Mm-hmm. Where I don't need to buy like the hundreds of t-shirt of every design and stuff like that.
Yeah, cool. Do they just make to order?
Yeah, it's all print on demand, which is nice.
Sweet. Yeah, so you don't need to have all the like upfront funding for it either. It's like pretty much
literally the only thing that needs upfront funding are just the toys. That's it. And I'm personally going to be the one storing them in my house and shipping them out by hand. which I'm fine with.
You're just gonna have like 100 SCP.
Like 1,000. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah,
so,
right.
Well, the good thing is there's really cheap local like storage facility.
Yeah.
Fuck, what are they called? They're really cheap though. It's just like a metal shack that you put in.
Yep. Yeah. Actually, like a
BRB. Real quick, I have to take a huge piss.
Go for it.
All right, chat. We're gonna put on intermission. BRB. And I'm back. Okay, let's switch. Boom. Intense. Okay.
What is it? We have a question in the chat. I think this is relating to the plushie. Unlucky Panda says, will there be shipping to Poland and how much does it cost?
Okay, so I'm trying to figure out the shipping to Europe stuff because it's actually a little complicated. For Kickstarter, yes. So if you get it on Kickstarter, yes, we will definitely ship it to Poland. Because I don't think Kickstarter even gives us an option of being US only. So I'm definitely working on it. Should be possible. Shipping cost, not entirely sure. I think it's gonna be like $8 for Europe, but the toy itself will be 25. Just because they're custom made toys, they're not like they're gonna be more expensive than your normal toy. Also, because like I want to make sure they're quality. I don't want them to be crap. So like they're weighted down. They have like beads in the bottom, so that way they can like sit nice. Yeah. So, and then I guess for context, the only other company that did SCP toys, they also sold them for 25 for like lower quality. So that's the price I'm trying to match with, that I can get away with. In the future, if we sell enough, I can definitely lower the price, which would be nice. But I'm sorry, Bozad, that you have no money. Yeah, that's pretty much most comments I get when I talk about any sort of merch or yeah. So yeah,
$25.
I know. Yeah, sorry guys.
I sell beers that cost more than $25 for a can.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's you get a if you get a barrel aged sour that is like 11% ABV, you can get up there into like $34, $38.
Are sour beers popular in Australia right now?
I'd say they're on the uptake. So yeah, IPAs were big, and then we had like hazy IPAs.
Yeah, I've been seeing those.
I think sours, yeah. Sours are moderately popular.
Sorry, Panda. It's okay.
That's alright.
Yeah, it's hard to make really dirt cheap stuff at a very small scale. So
yeah,
that's why.
I just love the idea that you would have a storage shed, and it's just full of SCP-999 toys. Like, I don't, like, you wouldn't need therapy or anything at that point. That would just be like a source of joy if you just walk in and it's all these like smiling little faces at you.
Yes, I've solved it. I've solved depression, guys. It'll be an interesting experience. If it was $5, oh my god, no, they. I'd be like, I'd be losing so much money if they were $5. That's impossible. That's not even possible for like big companies to sell it that much.
You get like a sticker of SCP-999 for $5.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's. I'm sorry, that's never gonna be possible. It's just because toys, man. It's a lot of labor and materials.
Yeah, they're quite complicated when you think about it, because it's like you gotta have a fabric printing pattern, and then there's gonna be like a whole little industrial process.
Yeah, like
to put them together.
The 99s I have are made of like 4 different things. They're made of like patch appliques that are eyes and mouth. Then you got plastic beads to weight it down on the bottom. Then you got the polyester stuffing, and then you got the actual fabric that makes up the body. Belzerad is using an interpreter right now for us. That's interesting.
And that fabric would all have to be sewed together, and that would be cut and then sewed together in the right way as well.
Yep. You can't just like slap it together. They literally made schematics for it and everything, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, right.
So sorry Panda. I've also never seen a stuffed animal that cost $5. That wasn't like super generic. Actually, no, I've never seen even a generic one cost $5. But we're in America. I'm in America, so that's probably why.
I think I've seen some very, very poorly made stuffed animals that cost $5 maybe.
Yeah, the cheapest SCP stuff I've seen was like $18, and they're just, you can tell they're really poorly designed. Like,
yeah.
It's rough.
Oh yeah, for SCP stuff, yeah, for sure, because it's like still somewhat of a niche thing. You know, it's not like Neopets. They're not gonna have like.
No. Neopets. Wow, that's a throwback.
Yeah, well, cause I used to go. There's this thing in Brisbane, Australia, called the Echo, which is like the big. It's like the big show every year. Like we have all of the carnival rides and. It's like a big carnival thing, sort of like a celebration of agriculture and all this too.
Oh, it's like a county fair. I think it's like the U.S. equivalent.
Yes, I think that's it. But yeah, so all the carnival games there though would be like for a while there it was just like giant Neopet plush toys.
That's funny.
Yeah, because like they keep all the leftovers from the previous year, so like Neopets was big for like a year or two, and then for years afterwards they just had all these leftover like I don't know, I don't remember what the names of the Neopets are, but yeah, you know Neopets is still like a thing that people are into, like, and it's like
is the site
it's really
still up?
depressing. Yeah,
what the fuck?
I had an ex who played Neopets all the time, and like the whole thing it just turned into this like economics game. So people would, like they just hoard points on Neopets.com and like watch the stock market fluctuate, and sell and buy. Like,
oh my god, I'm down for this timeline.
Yeah, it's like cookie clicker shit. It's just, it's so depressing because like you think it's all these like adults who like played Neopets as children and still have their accounts.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's kind of amazing though. It's kind of amazing.
Yeah. I wonder if I did make a Neopets account when I was a kid and had no idea what to do afterwards. I wonder if I can find it. It was a really dumb username and password. It was like this isn't a username or password I use for anything else, but like the username was like Nimbus 3000 or something after the broomstick in Harry Potter.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
and then I think the password was like a vomit1 because I thought it was funny.
Sounds
and that was vomit spelled incorrectly.
Like vomit?
Like vomit with an E.
Oh, nice. Vomit.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
Alright, let's try it.
I used to play Quidditch in college.
How does that work? I know it's a thing, but I don't know how it works.
So basically it's rugby mixed with what's it mixed with? It's like rugby mixed with Quidditch essentially, where you have to you have to throw the ball through the hoops. But it's rugby in the sense that you can tackle people and shit. With one arm, you can't do two-arm tackling. So it's, I guess, not as intense, but I don't know, man. People got concussions still. And then you have to keep a broom between your legs the entire time. And so, the beaters, they have, special beater balls on the field, and they're essentially dodgeballs, and you essentially hit people with them. You, throw people. Throw the dodgeballs at people.
Wait, go back to the broomstick between your legs. Do you have to squeeze your legs together or something?
Yeah, so
they just kind of hold it there.
The guys and girls with the big thighs had a severe.
Around?
No. People are sprinting with it. Usually have one hand holding the broom, and you just keep it up there.
Okay. I'm watching a video, and there is a guy with a dangling yellow ball off of his butt.
Oh, okay. So that's
that?
The snitch. That's the snitch.
Okay.
And so the snitch is allowed to wrestle people or do whatever it takes to make sure that you can't get the ball on his ass.
That's so funny looking.
For such a goofy looking game, it was shockingly intense. Like shockingly
Yeah,
intense.
right.
It was fun. We had
I used
cool
to love playing.
uniforms.
I used to love playing Capture the Flag in high school. Like get like 10 people on each team and use like a cricket, like a cricket pitch as no man's land in the middle. Because there's like this whole like meta game of like trying to psych people out and like figure out when you can make a run for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, this Quidditch game looks. I don't know how else to describe it. Just very nerdy.
It is. Literally.
I imagine it's a lot of fun though.
It was. It's weird. It's like jock nerds. It's not like normal nerds.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what was kind of cool was like I went to the Quidditch World Cup. Yeah, that's a thing. And
Yeah.
and a lot of the people, all the people in the Texas teams were just like the people that weren't good enough to get on the football team.
Yeah. Okay.
So they were all massive, like brolic, like football players that were playing Quidditch, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, I'm not cut out for that. It's a lot of lacrosse kids too, that just like the nerdy lacrosse kids. So like one of the guys on my team, he was actually a really good lacrosse player, and he just like kicked ass. So that's the only reason why he literally carried our entire team. I was not good.
It's just the fact that everyone's got broomsticks between their legs.
It's just it's weird how fast it becomes normal though. It's just weird how fast.
Oh yeah. Well, I think it's kind of like when you think about it, the concept of a lot of games is kind of absurd.
Yeah.
So you might as well just do like even more absurd things. I think my favorite thing I've learned today though is just that the snitch in Quidditch is like a guy with a dingleberry coming out his butt.
Like they have a lot of rules now, but it used to be like nuts. Like literally they could just like fuck off, and like halfway through the game is when they would release the whatever they are, seekers, what are they called again? Whatever Harry Potter is. And you'd have to find him. He wouldn't be on the actual field.
Yeah, I'm watching like a how to play, and I just saw some people like trying to beat up the snitch in an alleyway. Like...
Yeah, so that's the old Quidditch. That actually just got changed once I joined, and literally because what would happen is like
hilarious.
He would literally like the snitch would just like grab someone's keys and just like hide in their car or some shit like that, or like climb on like a roof of a building or some shit, and you'd have to fucking find them. Like they went like next level.
I want to be the snitch in that game. That sounds amazing.
You got to either be a really good endurance runner or be a really good wrestler to be a good snitch, and have like really long limbs. You want really long limbs too. So, something I do not have.
just the anarchy of just like.
It was a good time though.
Should probably look at chat.
Oh my god, what's going on? Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
Whoa. The hell? Cool. Okay. I have an idea. Will there be small SCP statues, like 6 cm or something like this?
Maybe
that
like
is
3D printed stuff?
Yeah, I've been thinking about doing stuff like that. I do have a 3D printer, but the issue with that is it's way too expensive to do it on scale. So I am looking into it with Fragmented Minds, because they also want to do like really high detail resin 3D printed like limited edition sculptures, which I think would be fucking cool. But they're going to be more expensive than the toys, that's for sure. And they're going to be bigger than that. We're probably going to make them a bit bigger, like probably 6 inches. Because I know there are people who do those really, really tiny D&D ones, the miniatures.
Yeah.
And they do print those themselves, because the miniatures you can print multiple at once. But I don't know. I think it's too niche, honestly.
Oh my god! I just I went on Neopets and like did like I forgot my password thing, and I've still got an account on Neopets.com.
Oh man.
I wonder if is this gonna be like that thing like Fry in Futurama when he like checks his bank account after being asleep for 1,000 years, and am I gonna be rich? Because I just have
man.
like some super rare thing because I signed in one time when I was a kid.
I'm curious. Is there like interest and stuff?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how the Neopets economy works.
God. What reality do we live in anymore?
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
Oh, nice. I will say for the Kickstarter, we're actually getting a decent amount of followers, which is nice. Jake actually has one of the Mischief plushies.
Oh yeah, how is it?
It looks nice.
I was kind of tempted to buy one of the vinyls when they came out.
Oh my god!
Like, he made like a really cool speckled vinyl.
Oh,
I have an Umami T-shirt. It's my most expensive T-shirt. It's like a $55 T-shirt or something like that. It's just the static pattern.
Is it like
the
all
cerebral
over? Is it
electricity? Yeah.
Oh, that's why.
It's like
that's
they just like printed that pattern on fabric and cut it into a T-shirt.
Yeah, those are very expensive to make, so that makes sense.
It's pretty cool. Yeah.
That is cool. I think, how old is he, the guy behind it? Because he looks older. It looks like he's in his 30s or something.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I don't know exactly how old, but I'd say like early 30s.
Oh, I was thinking like mid to late 30s. Maybe it's the beard.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, Unlucky Panda didn't hear me answer. What do you think about 7-centimeter tall SCP statues? It is something I would like to do, but that's going to be even more expensive. They would be more expensive because they're harder to ship, and the amount of detail and stuff. Well, actually, 7 centimeters. Sorry, I'm thinking of like 6 inches. No, we'd probably do like bigger ones, like 6 inches ones. I might look into getting really tiny 7-centimeter ones eventually, but I'd have to start with the bigger stuff first. For man, how many centimeters is 6 inches? Crap.
That is an inch is about 3 centimeters roughly.
Okay, so
it's like
21, let's say, for 7 inches.
7 inches, yeah.
Roughly.
That doesn't sound right to me.
It doesn't?
7 inches, it's about 18 centimeters.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so
it's 2.5, not 3.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Panda, we're probably going to start with that if we ever get to that. It depends. We might not even bother doing that if the toys don't do well, honestly, because it's going to be even harder to sell statues compared to toys. So it just depends to see how well things do and if people actually want the stuff that we make. We'll see.
I'm logging into Neopets. It's actually working. This website still looks like it's from the 90s. We want to celebrate our 22nd birthday by giving you 500 neocurrency.
Wow. Is
Hell
that a
yeah,
lot?
thanks. I found my one Neopet that I have. His name is Scaly Gecko, and he's just the saddest looking gecko.
I remember liking the Red Dragon one. I don't remember his name.
Oh yeah. I know the one that you're talking about.
I had a little plastic toy of him.
I wish I'd gotten into this like 3 years ago
man.
before my ex dumped me. She would be able to explain.
Damn. Scaly guy. He does actually look why does he like have a clenched fist?
I'm looking at his update.
Oh, we throw some
Like
chat.
his details, and it's just got like one detail in there that says dying.
Oh fuck. How is he not dead already? Man,
He's
there's
got
so much
9 out of 9
emotion.
heart points.
Like there's sadness in his eyes, anger in his fist, and he has like such a powerful stance.
I have I don't even. Okay. What I have 1,050.
Wait, but he's content with dying.
Yeah, he's grown up with me.
He's just accepted his fate. Wow.
He's like, yeah, he's waited for this. Like he waited for so long for me to come back, and now that I have, he's just like, he doesn't even care anymore. He's just completely broken.
Wow. We should do a whole mini-series on him being stuck in a Neopets simulator.
Yeah. Yeah, just the existential dread of being a Neopet that was like created in like 2006 and then never thought about ever again.
And their whole mission is they just want the site to be ended. They just want it shut down.
Yeah. Please just let me die.
Oh man, that'd be a really fun skit.
Updates come and go, but I just stay the same. Alright. Okay, so what have we got? It looks like they've got the free-to-play thing where there's like two types of currency. You've got like the one that you earn, and then there's one that you pay money for.
Mm-hmm.
So what's this? I've got 500 Neo currency, or NC, or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
500, which is equivalent to $5. That's not bad.
Oh.
That'll be good to know in an emergency if I need $5.
Yeah. Can you actually convert it into cash?
I don't know. I'm sure that I think there's probably a black market. Okay, so for the other currency, we've got. I clicked on it and I got a page called the National Neopian Bank, and there is like a what is it? Like a goblin man saying, "Good morning, sir. I see you don't currently have an account with us.
This is a
I
children's
can
game?
offer you some. Yeah, I can offer you some of the only interest rates in town today." So they just have one bank, it looks like.
Damn.
And he wants my name and my Neopian address. And it says in brackets down the bottom, "Don't enter your real address." So do I just like... do I just like make some shit up?
I guess.
Okay. Mine is
Fuck, this is a throwback. Well, I don't remember the
garbage.
bank. I don't remember the bank. Is
And
that...
my street is the dumpster.
Nice.
And just I'll put a 3 at the end. Current employment. Oh, okay, they're all like fake ones, like Elephanti, Adidor, Corbat Keeper, Waki Warden, Kiko Caretaker.
Waki
Oh,
Warden?
Scorchio. Scorchio is the name of the dragon that you were talking about.
Yeah.
Scorchio. What's my annual salary? The lowest one. Count type. 1,000. I should just dump all of my money into the. Yeah, I'm gonna put all of my. Oh, I should have done this when I was a kid. Oh, the interest rate is 5.5% per year. I wonder how much I would have made.
Wow, yeah, you would have been balling.
Yeah, oh, I could have had so much Neo points. Fuck. Ah. Alright, I'm done with this game. Anyway.
That's like me finding out. So I found out about Bitcoin when I was like 13.
No.
Yeah. So I literally could have been that
painful.
person to like buy it and been a multimillionaire now, but oh well.
Yep.
Like straight up if I bought like $5, $10 worth of it, I would have been like a millionaire.
Oh my god. Oh, that just hurts to think about.
But it was not like you couldn't just like buy it. It was a huge pain in the ass to get it. Like you need to know coding and shit. It wasn't like a super.
Oh, okay, right. Right. Yeah. It just
So-
that's what I tell myself. It was too difficult. I never could have figured that out.
No, like actually, I promise. Like it really was, because It was the same kid who showed me SCP. He's the one who showed me Bitcoin.
Right, and he's rich now, right?
No, he didn't buy
so
any.
he showed you Bitcoin, but he didn't buy any.
No, he didn't.
Ah.
Actually, wait, we were like 15 or 16. My bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not 13. But it still would have been rich. So. Oh wait, shit.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Yeah.
Now you're just gonna make these damn YouTube videos for the rest of your life.
Talk about bad habits. That's something I do all the time. Is
Yeah.
Oh, if I started Blender then, I could have been here now. Like shit like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is the most useless like line of thought that I could ever do.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah.
So like that's happens a lot of times when I see people who are like X amount of years with experience with a certain program or things like that, and I'm just like, fuck. Yeah, it's pretty dumb.
Yeah. Although I do see there's that kid, like William Langdon,
Yeah,
or whatever. He's like 15. Yeah, he's the epitome of that. Like his voice has broken during the making of his YouTube channel. Like
literally.
That's how early he started. Like he's gonna be like working at ILM or something by the time he's 18.
Yeah, but I just remind myself Blender was a fucking nightmare to use when I was a kid, so.
Well, I did start trying to learn Blender when I was like 8 years old. And like I was working through like the wiki articles of like how to do modeling and stuff. Like that's how I.
Oh really?
Yeah. Back when it was like the. I don't know how to describe the interface. It's like it was like a. I don't know, like an Excel spreadsheet of an interface. It was really bad.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, it was a weird story. It's because my parents, they have like a band, like a 80s synth pop kind of band.
That's cool.
And one of the drummers that they had for a while, like he was into Blender, and like he had these cool like animations that he'd made of like a dog and a cat or something. Like 3D, and he made like a 3D like video game demo thing. And I thought that was so cool, so I like found out what the program was and started to learn how to do it. I didn't get very far, but I think the fact that I tried to learn all that stuff when I was a kid, like, set the seed for a lot of things that ended up being really useful later on.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one I knew was into any sorts of like arts or anything like that, so.
Yeah.
It's a little rough there.
Yeah, no, well, my school was, I besides stuff like that, like, I don't think I had much of I've always felt very isolated when it comes to, like, creative endeavors.
Definitely
Even when I meet other people that are, like, I guess, creatives in real life, they always seem to, like, be more, like, less niche somehow. Like, it's always, like, people who are, like, musicians, or, like, they do, like, just cool art on Instagram that anyone can look at and be like, oh, yeah, that's cool.
Oh my god, you're speaking my entire experience right now.
Yeah.
Every film person
like,
I've met is always just like they just do generic drama stuff and like that's it, or maybe generic comedy stuff.
Yeah, and it's like I think the real fun is like when you get into like these niche, like very specific things.
Yeah.
Like I know there's people out there that do it. They're just not in my bloody city. They're somewhere else.
I feel like they're probably all in LA or something.
Yeah, but I don't want to go to LA.
Yeah, fuck LA.
Yeah, it's not a nice place.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
One of my friends.
I've been to LA. There. It was very concrete. Like it was a concrete city and it was very hot.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I've never been, but everything I've heard, I just know I would not drive. Doesn't help. Doesn't help. I just think of my ex when I think of LA.
No.
Who I am not a fan
sorry.
of.
Yeah.
But yeah, my friend is actually moving there, I think next year. So.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, the one thing that LA does have is they have supposedly, well, they actually have like a little Japan. New York doesn't have that, and they have supposedly much better Chinese food than New York does. which is
Oh, if
interesting.
you're gonna go that far, then just go to Japan.
Yeah, I'm working on that.
You know where they have the best Japanese food?
Japan. That's a good point.
No, actually, the best ramen I've had is in Sydney.
Really?
I'm sure there's better ramen in Japan, but the best ramen I've had personally was in a ramen bar in Sydney, Australia.
Okay, this blew my mind. And I can have my Korean friend vouch for me here, okay? I don't want people being like, "Oh, it's because he's white he's saying this."
Yeah.
The best Korean food I've had. Fuck! Oh my god! Like better than Korea because I've been to Korea once. Oh my god, this is very controversial now. The best Korean food I've had was in Providence, Rhode Island.
Cancelled. You're cancelled.
Like my friends were like shook. They could not believe it. And my friend John's like, yes,
Yeah.
no, it was literally the best Korean food I've ever had. Fun fact, Providence, Rhode Island is where Lovecraft lived. H.P. Lovecraft.
Oh, cool.
And he's buried there. So I visited his grave, which was
right.
interesting. The graveyard he's buried in, so his grave's like whatever, it's just like a rock in the ground. The grave he's buried in looks like the graveyards from like Bloodborne. It's like super ornate, huge, like statues and obelisks. It's like, what the hell? I've never been to a graveyard like this. It was very, very cool.
Wow, that's
very cool.
That's very, very on brand for Lovecraft.
Yeah, it was literally the most gorgeous graveyard I've ever been to. It felt like a movie set. It didn't feel real.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, like a Buffy graveyard or something.
Yeah, literally. So, fun fact, I guess. But yeah, I'm trying to go to Japan and Korea next year for a month.
Yeah, right.
So it'll be interesting because I have a friend in Tokyo.
Oh, do you now?
Yeah, he actually was one of the actors.
I've been to Japan once. I'd love to go again sometime because it was pretty cool.
Where'd you go?
I went to Tokyo and I went to Hiroshima.
Oh, nice.
And I went to somewhere else that I can't remember the name of. But I think those were the two main places that I spent time in.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to
Tokyo. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I was gonna. You first.
No, you first.
Oh my lord. Okay. So, I'm gonna Tokyo first. My friend Koda, he lives there, and he lives in Shibuya actually, which is pretty awesome.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah.
Because he's an actor. He's a real actor in Japan. Like he does like commercials and stuff.
Oh wow.
But I met him.
Sweet.
He's actually in our 499 video. He's the main lead.
Right.
So,
check it out.
So that's him. And then I'm trying to go to Hakone, which is like known for their hot springs, for a day. And then what sucked was we were gonna go last year, and they had all these Neon Genesis Evangelion stuff there for the Olympics, and I was like, I am all about this. But I don't think it's there anymore. And then And then I'm going to Kyoto for a week, and then I'm probably gonna do a day trip to Kobe for Kobe beef.
Yep.
That'll be fun. And then probably gonna go to Seoul for a week after. So then we go back to Tokyo. Then after that, chill for another week. Then go to Seoul, because my other friends are also gonna be in Korea before me. And like they're going to visit family and stuff and hang out, and so then I'm gonna hang out with them on their last week there, and then we'll go home.
Yeah, right.
So,
if you do get time in Tokyo, I totally recommend going to the Studio Ghibli Museum.
I didn't even know
you have to get tickets. It's like the tickets are really cheap. But you do have to get them like really, really far ahead in time. So but definitely look into it. It's the most like amazing display of like creativity. Like the museum itself has been like designed from the ground up to just be this whole experience. They have like these really cool like zoetrope contraptions with like strobe lights to make these cool animations. And then they have projectors where you can see all of the insides and see the individual animation frames, like the cells like running through the projector.
Oh, nice! That's very cool.
And it's beautiful. It's really, really lovely. definitely go there if you can.
Yeah, I'm gonna write that down now actually, because the people I'm going with, they like Studio Ghibli.
Yeah.
That's probably the closest I'll ever be to Australia.
Well, yeah, my time zone is within 3 hours of Japan,
That's cool.
which is pretty cool.
Yeah, actually, one of my friends' cousins that I've met, she lives in Melbourne.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and she taught me it's Melbourne, not Melbourne.
Yeah, it's Melbourne. Melbourne.
So I used to say Melbourne, like a Yankee.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I just and then actually, no, my friend John, he actually has cousins in Korea. I mean, in Australia too.
How do you know all these international people?
Because I live in New York.
Oh, okay, right.
They're all my high school friends.
Right.
They're just all my high school friends. I got really lucky.
Yeah.
Well, it helped
So
I
what,
watched
they traveled
anime.
to New York, or they traveled overseas.
So the only reason I got to go to Shanghai and Korea was because we literally crashed with their family there. So
Yeah,
that's,
right.
That's what I was able
Well,
to do it
yeah,
on a budget.
Same thing. Like I got to go to the Swiss Alps because of like a similar sort of thing.
That's cool.
I had like a friend who, like, his mum is French, so like they have lots of family friends, all over Europe. And yeah, like we stayed with like a French couple in where was it? Geneva, I think. And then yeah, like in this log cabin up in like the Swiss Alps, in this had this like amazing view of like just picturesque mountains, and like we saw a deer, and like I just wish it had kind of been closer to winter because it was like just coming into spring, so there was like a little bit of snow, but it had mostly melted. But yeah, it was pretty amazing.
That's cool. Yeah. For me, I'm trying to think. Well, actually, my friend in Shanghai, so that's the one whose cousin also lives in Korea. Well, in Melbourne. He has family that like run hotels in Shanghai. So we literally stayed at like a hotel for like, I don't know, like $10 a night or something, like a 4-star hotel.
Oh, that's sick.
It's crazy.
That is really cool.
The family discount.
You know,
my god.
It's weird to hear like you have an accent and then like just out of nowhere say like Melbourne, like in a. It's like you're putting on an accent when you like. It's almost like my brain just expects you to say Melbourne.
I'm code switching.
Yeah. Do you watch The Expanse at all?
I've watched almost the entire first season, and then I fell off it.
Right.
But I know it gets good. Everyone tells me it gets good.
Yeah. First season, it's a really good show. Especially that last season has got some of the coolest shit. But yeah, no, there's the character who does a lot of code switching in that show. Like she'll switch between like her like posh British accent and then her like belter louder like South African inspired accent, depending on who she's talking to. It's pretty cool.
Kind of reminds me of have you seen Dune?
Yes, I have seen Dune. I watched it illegally on my computer because it was delayed in Australia. It's out in cinemas now. Maybe I'll probably go see it in the next couple of days to get the full experience.
I saw it in theaters, and I highly recommend you get into theaters. Make sure it's a theater that actually has good speakers, though.
Has surround speakers.
Sorry,
you cut out for a moment.
No,
when you said
that has good speakers.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Because the Sardaukar chant.
Oof,
hits different.
I think I know a Dolby Atmos place. We don't have any real IMAX theaters in my state anymore.
Oh, really?
Which really, yeah, I've only ever seen one IMAX movie. I think I saw Force Awakens when I was in Sydney one time.
Oh, that's cool.
For like, I think I was seeing Churches live. Then we went and saw Force Awakens. Like IMAX theaters are huge. And it's not just that they're big, but you're also like sat close enough to the screen that they like fill up your entire field
Yeah.
of view.
My there's one literally at a local space museum right by where I live.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they don't do normal movies there anymore. They only do like educational, like space stuff. Which kind of
lame.
stinks. That's the only IMAX experience stuff I've seen. In New York City, I was gonna see Dune until I saw the ticket for the price. So until I saw the price for the ticket, and I was like, "Holy shit!" It's like $35 for like an IMAX.
That's more than an SCP 999 plush toy.
I only have Polish friends. I'll imagine telling people on live you did something illegal. Yeah, sorry, it's over for you.
Oh no!
You wouldn't steal a frog. Literally yesterday, my girlfriend was fake giving me shit for like watching Christmas movies, like not paying for Disney Plus and just like watching Christmas movies illegally. I'm like, yeah.
Oh no, there's hardworking
Mickey
Christmas
Mouse
movie makers.
Mickey Mouse is really struggling right now, guys.
Yeah. Disney's actually a small independent company, and you're stealing from them.
Yes.
Walt Disney's children are not going to be able to eat now because of you.
Yeah. I think isn't his daughter like a multimillionaire and she like does nothing?
Does Walt Disney have kids? I've never actually thought about this.
He has a daughter. I'm pretty confident.
Okay. Kind of like how George Lucas has a daughter.
I didn't know that actually.
Yeah, he does.
I'm surprised. Huh, yeah, I guess I can't think of it. But I think with she got into controversy a few years ago with like some sort of corruption or something.
Yeah.
Well, Walt Disney's I think it's his granddaughter technically.
Disney
right?
family.
No, it's his daughter. He's not that old. Because he died in the 60s, I think. Or might have been 70s. Yeah.
Diane was his wife? No, Diane was the only biological child of Walt Disney and his wife Lillian.
Hmm.
She was on the board of directors.
Yeah, so she doesn't do anything.
She had a kid.
I feel like she probably doesn't actually directly.
She had 7 children.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Wow. Didn't expect that. What a plot twist.
I wonder how much they earn in the Disney company.
Well, she.
How old are they? I wonder if maybe I can sneak in and marry one of them.
They're probably our age, actually.
Yeah, probably. Or no, what was she? Oh no, she passed away in 2013, age 79. So maybe her kids' children. So it'd be like great grandchildren of Disney. Get that? Great grandkid Disney money.
Imagine just being born into millions of dollars and then being miserable and becoming a heroin addict.
Oh, imagine.
I literally know people like that, so.
Oh yeah, oh that sucks.
They're I'll not say how I loosely know those people, but yeah, it's not like my relatives or anything. It's like the relatives of someone I know.
Is that a 3? What's the 3 in response to Helldivers?
Is that a 3? I'm very confused.
No, that is not a 3. That is.
This is some serious
another number.
Germ shit. What is Germ? All right, I'm probably. What time is it? Yeah, it's 12:30. I've been streaming for like almost 2 hours now, so I'll probably pop off.
Yeah, I'll have to. It's nearly 4 a.m. I'm gonna go to bed soon.
Yeah, get some rest. All right, Thank you, folks. Last shout out, I pinned it in the comments for anyone who wants to get a SCP-999 plushie. Kickstarter's going live maybe in a week, but might be a little longer. So follow it if you don't want to miss it. And yeah, thanks for coming on.
It costs less than an IMAX ticket, so
It does cost less than an IMAX ticket. That's a really good deal.
but it gives you endless joy, unlike IMAX.
Yeah, it'll literally give you entertainment every day of your life. So
yep,
that's a good deal to me, man. That'll be the sales pitch. Ugh, God, my throat. Anyway, thank you for coming on. This was fun. This is honestly one of the most fun streams I've had. Just being able to like talk about Blender and shoot the shit.
Yeah, no, it's been fun to hang out.
Yeah.
I'm glad I stayed up late to chat.
And I'll try not to destroy your sleep schedule anymore.
Oh, it's alright. My sleep schedule this week. You saw my tweets.
Yeah.
It's already gone.
All right. Well.
Yeah.
It was fun. I'll catch you